What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Steven's Nerd Corner, and we got something to talk about today. I'm gonna talk about it. Listen, I love Dragon Ball. Huge Dragon Ball fan. Look at the shirt. I got all 14 collected editions of Super. I'm slacking on Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but those are my favorite series. At least the anime. Z. That's in my top five. I've played all the games, so I just want you guys to know this is coming from a fan, not a hater. But let's get into it. Super has issues. Super has big issues. And the reason why I want to make this video is because I think Super can really, to be honest, avoid a lot of these issues. And the reason why I also want to talk about it is because I feel like Dragon Ball being the great series that it is, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, with Super, the problems, they're not hitting the level of Z and Dragon Ball, which is what they're always going to be compared to. It's the same series. So they're always going to be compared to the OG series. I think that's why their issues stick out a little bit more. And another thing, Super has amazing, great moments. Like Super, don't get me wrong, Super is not a terrible, god awful series or anything like that. I think it's pretty good, but it definitely doesn't touch Z or OG Dragon Ball. Like not even close. Like it's great, it's good, but it doesn't get close to Z and Super. I mean Z and OG Dragon Balls because it does things that holds it back, and it gets close. Like I said, it has moments. When things are done right in Super, it comes out really good. But then they'll do something, just kill all the momentum, whatever they were doing, and it sucks. So let's get into it. And let me just show you some of the examples, instances of these issues and why it hurts Super so much. Let's start from the beginning. God of Destruction, the Beerus Saga of Super. That's a good arc. That's a nice 8 out of 10 arc. It's good. The pacing is alright. I mean, sure, in the animation was like all over the place, but it was a good fight. Beerus was cool. We learned. I like how really why it's so good for me is because it expands Dragon Ball lore, which I loved. Added so much. Now we have the Gods of Destruction. We already had our Supreme Kais, and now we have the Angels and multiverse now, and then I think that was dope because it added so much. Cool. I was like, all right, I was rocking with that. I was like, cool. Brought back Frieza. I was pretty a little shaky just because I really don't like it when villains come back. To be honest with you, but Frieza was cool because I did like Frieza. Frieza was one of my favorite villains. I mean, it's Frieza's Emperor Frieza. Come on, how you gonna hate? So it was dope to see him come back. I'm not even gonna lie. With the golden form, that was cool. And then we were getting Super Saiyan Blue. So I was like, okay, it's cool. Movie didn't play out the way I wanted it to. It had some issues, and that's what I want to get into. Like the movie up until the end, pretty solid movie. But then Goku gets shot with a random laser gun, a basic gun at that. Which I get. That was always like a thing they kind of did in Dragon Ball. If you weren't on guard, like anybody could hurt you because you're so off guard, and it's always messes you up. Even I was like, come on, he's a god now. Let's be honest, he's Super Saiyan God Blue. Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan is what they were calling it. You're gonna tell me that this laser, random common laser gun, puts a hole through his chest, he loses it. But then, right? They fixed it immediately though, because then they have Vegeta step in, which is even better, because now Vegeta could get his revenge against Frieza and all this, and it's like, oh man, this is great. This is even better. I'm good. I was happy Goku got shot then. I was like, all right, cool, we get this. Cheetah starts putting the beats on him. It's great. He's getting his revenge. Like, awesome. And then Frieza's beaten. Is like, ah, man. Boom. Blows up the planet. Like, why? And he does it. And the way to fix it was just, why even have Frieza blow up the planet in the first place if you can't get him out of it? If you should never went through with that because he blows it up. Then Beerus and Whis are like, oh man, I like the food there. And rewind everything. And it's just like, bruh, what was that? Like, kind of just like, I didn't like the fact that Whis and Beerus helped. Like, bruh, that was like their whole thing. We do not help the mortals. We're not helping them. We're not helping this. first, whatever. And they do anyway because of the food, but it's like, come on. Could have did something way better than that. Rewind, Goku catches him. I was like, alright, you however you were doing good, and then it just kinda not horrible, but you definitely took a dive at the end and it was bad. Universe 6 tournament, either manga or the anime. It was just pretty. That one is a solid arc. That's like a good 7 out of 10. They don't do anything crazy, but it's a good arc, enjoyable arc. I don't mind watching that. Reading it from time to time. It's a good arc. Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken was dope to see. And Hit was a really cool character with a really cool ability. It's a good arc. They didn't try to do anything crazy, but what they did do, they did a good job. So no complaints there. And what's after that? We hit Goku Black. Right, let's do Goku Black. This is really probably the biggest case of it. We start off so good with Goku Black, right? Dope villain, Zamasu, all that. He killed everything. Zero Mortal Plan, fire, loved it. Then we started doing all the timeline and all this stuff. Got mad confusing, and they just messed. I don't know what they were doing. It was all over the place. So I was like, all right, we're kind of starting to take a dive. And meanwhile, we started up here. That's how good this arc was. Listen, if they would have kept through, with the same quality and what they were doing from the beginning of the arc, that could have been a 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 arc. That's how good that starting was. But as it progressed, it just got worse. We do all the timeline. I was like, eh. And then, the way they beat Goku Black, the way the arc ended, garbage. In the anime and the manga, that was probably the worst, probably one of the worst ones for endings, the arc. It was just that. Either you see in the anime, Trunks beats Fuse Zamasu when he couldn't even beat Goku Black or regular Zamasu one-on-one. I already had an issue with that, and then he's just in the sky, and they're like, "Oh man, Zeno blow everything up." I was just like, "All right." Oh, he destroyed the whole timeline. Like, damn, that's kind of crazy, but man, I don't could have did that better in my opinion. Same thing in the manga. They call Zeno, he blows up the whole timeline. So every time they would cut off a piece of Uzamasu, a whole new one would grow. It was crazy. I was like, what's going on here? Now it's just you were already down, and now you just went even more. It was just bad. It was really bad. But we got after that, the TOP. Going to the TOP, that to me, as of right now, I still think peak super. That is the best super we have gotten. Even caught up with today's manga, which we won't really get into more. Granola arc, just because the arc isn't finished, but we'll definitely be getting into the more arc later in the video. So if you're not caught up to the ongoing manga, I suggest you don't want to get spoiled. Not stick around. But like I was saying, TOP, I think is peak super. I love that arc. If we, I will say the recruiting part of it definitely was a little slow. If there is an issue, definitely that started off a little slow. But the actual tournament of power itself, for me, from beginning to end, fire. But the little recruiting thing they did, a little slow, picked up. They did a lot of cool stuff. We could see all the characters, 17, everybody was coming back. They didn't put Majin Buu, but let's be honest, he's OP. He has some crazy hacks ability. Would have been crazy in there, but it's fun. Tournament starts, we're getting the humans get eliminated first. You kind of knew how the first 10, 5, 6 episodes is really gonna go, and then you hit that first Goku and Jiren fight in the anime. Ooh, gosh, that it broke the internet. Just saying, but that is just saying. That's all I have to say, and it should tell you how much hype was there and how good it was done to build that kind of hype. It was fire. It was just great to see. It's been a while, I think, since we've seen Goku get just straight up beat like that. He was getting demolished. It wasn't even close. And then he gets UI in such a cool way, and it's something different. This has nothing to do really with him being a Saiyan. This is not a Super Saiyan transformation. This is almost like a technique sort of thing that they have been foreshadowing. Earlier. They do it kind of a couple times, I think 2-3 times. You know, for the, you don't know what Ultra Instinct is, so you're not even putting two and two together. Like, oh, he moved without thinking, right? Like, I mean, at least that's what I was thinking when they did it. I was like, all right, I don't see what the big deal is. But now, see it in Ultra Instinct Sign, it's great. You know, they're doing all these cool fights. You see Gohan fighting the two Namekians with all the other Namekians merged in one, so they were mad strong. That was cool to see. You know, we saw the, big father son Kamehameha. That was dope. It has a lot of good, just great moments throughout. Like every fight was great. I just loved it. All the characters were cool. I love Jiren. I know a lot of people hate on him, say he's boring, which I guess a little bit. You could say that, but for me, the thing is, he's so vocal. You know, it's not like he's quiet. You know, he after the first Goku fight, he can't stop talking. You know, fights hit. You know, you kind of, sure they don't give you a ton. I would say yes, they don't give you. Not talking up non-stop, but you still get some from him. You're able to tell what kind of person he is, what kind of, who he is. Fights Jiren, and I mean Jiren. When Jiren fights Hit, and he's asking him what's the good of the pride of an assassin and all this, especially when he's fighting Goku at the end. It's just going back and forth. It was like in a battle of ideals, and I loved it. It was done so good. Jiren saying, friends is nothing. They just, they're negative. They're negative. They're a drawback. They hurt. Goku's trying to tell him like, nah, man, this is me friends. Almost like a battle of ideals and all that. And it was a great fight at that. That fight is amazing with the music, and it's just dope to see. And then at the end we get Goku and Frieza teaming up. It was fire. It was just great. Greatly done. Like I said, that has been peak super to me. If you would have put the TOP in Dragon Ball Z, it would have been fine. Like that's how good that arc is to me. And then we hit Moro, right? Moro arc was holding the Moro arc was on the same track for a while. Like for a while, the whole beginning of the arc was dope. All the way in the middle of the arc, they were doing dope stuff. When Vegeta was on Yard Drag, Goku was doing his own thing. They just kept on doing that and doing it. Just kept doing that. It was dope. We were doing all this stuff. Moro pulled up, it was cool. Then Vegeta fought Moro. He got bodied, but it made sense, so I wasn't totally mad. I was like, alright, whatever, that's cool. I get it, because he ate 73 or whatever. Now he's strong. I was like, alright, a little crazy, but okay, fine. Oh, and then he did mad strong and he bodies everybody, punches a hole in Goku's chest, all that. That was fire. I was loving it. I'm like, yo, this guy Moro is crazy. Like this is like a villain, you know? Like he's gonna kill them. Like not messing around. It was dope to see. The whole thing with Miras, and breaks the rule of fighting him more. Disappears or he gets erased from existence, basically, dies. Goku gets tight, he unlocks the Master Ultra Instinct, he's able to turn it on now and starts bodying more. It was fire. I'm like, oh okay, this is nice. Then like this is almost a whole arc. It's been great, like peak, right? Then he's like, yo dog, the sensu bean, and it just killed it. Just killed it. Right from there, like once he threw him the sensu bean, it just straight down, bruh. So bad. Like, and it was doing so good. I was saying this is a potential another TOP like level arc that they were on. And then they do this, they give him the sensu bean, and it just goes all the way downhill. And then of course the Moro doesn't just eat the sensu bean and go to jail. So it's like, bruh, why? And it was a regression of Goku's character. There's so many things that are wrong with it. It brings it down so much that I'll make a whole video on that, on its own. But listen. So he does that, and then he fights Moro, but after that, you kind of knew, he's probably just gonna beat him, kill him, or whatever. And then Moro merges into the earth. I was like, eh. Then Goku had like this Susanoo thing going on. That was pretty cool. I ain't even gonna lie. But then, and then he just kind of kills him. I mean, it was a little cool with Vegeta with the spirit thing that he does, spirit fission. But other than that, they killed the arc with the whole sensu bean and just onward. It was just dead. They kind of killed it. It was, bruh. Granola has been good so far, I'm not gonna lie. We started off a little shaky, some of this. I mean, especially the last chapter with, not the Bardock one, the one with Ultra Ego Vegeta. You know, Vegeta's been a little shaky with the writing lately. I gotta read the new chapter about Bardock. So yeah, I don't want to get into Granola arc really on this channel until the arc is over really, so we can really go in depth and we know everything that's complete. I mean, I might do chapter to chapter reviews, but I don't know. But thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to click the description down below. The links in the bio on the description. My Twitch and my YouTube, so go check those out. Always on there. But like I said, thanks again for tuning in and peace out.